evening to you all. As this induction program is advancing, students, that means you people, are going into deeper and deeper of the various dimensions of NIT Silchar. Yesterday, you had witnessed or you witnessed the various activities of the Eco Club, and I am very sure that you people definitely liked and were somewhat, or in a way, you were expecting to do the same when you join the institute in person. So today I will be taking you on to the new dimension of this institute, that is NIT Silchar, that is its institute's innovation cell. So first I will just tell you what the institute's innovation cell or the council is. So the MHRD, that is Ministry of Human Resources Development, Government of India,
Kulkarni sir.
Dr. Kulkarni.
Maybe some network. So there is some issue. He's joining. Students, please turn off your videos. Ajay Kumar Meena, Sakshan Kumar Singh, Sanju Kumar, Satyajit Ray. Please turn off your video. Ajay Kumar Meena, Sanuj Kumar, turn off your video.
Hi. Kulkarni? Yeah, any issue from your side?
Yeah, I think he's joining as he told me.
Achha, so, but you're not audible from our side, no? Yeah, okay, you rejoin, please.
I'm very sorry for the disconnection. Is it audible, Naresh Babu sir?
Yes.
Okay. So I suppose this induction, with this induction program, you are advancing into the culture of NIT Silchar and exploring the new dimensions. So today I will be taking you to the new dimension of the institute, that is the Institute Innovation Cell. So IIC, or the Institute Innovation Council, this is the initiative of the MHRD to establish or systematically foster the culture of innovation amongst the higher educations in India. So in India, there are various institutes of national importance where this IIC is instituted, and in NIT Silchar it was instituted in 2018 on 15th October. So currently the council is headed by our president, Professor Fazal Talukdar sir, under the leadership of our director sir. So with this, I request now director sir to address the gathering.
Very good afternoon to my dear students. I think along with the induction program from 3rd of December from yesterday, you had some of your classes starting. And soon, obviously, along with the induction program, classes will be in full swing also. And along with you, all of us are expecting that we'll be able to have you in our campus sooner or later. Now, as part of the induction program, when we started our journey on, say, 23rd of November, we outlined that among you, and currently we have 876 students who have enrolled at NIT Silchar. You have a good number of students who are dreaming to have a very decent and a good job. Some of you might be thinking for higher studies in your life. And some of you might have planned to be entrepreneur. That is, instead of job seeker, you are planning to be a job provider. At the same time, whatever may be your destination or goal that you have planned, innovation is also something that is you want to nurture on yourself. And we at NIT Silchar, through the Institute Innovation Cell and through all of our efforts, we try to promote the innovation mindset among the students also. Now today, as part of the Institute Innovation Cell, so some of the success stories of our past students who have passed from us, and when they were part of the institute as a student, they formed a company of their own. And these companies are now successfully running their own activities. So Professor Talukdar, I think, might be sharing that glorious past of our students with you. And an entrepreneur obviously basically signifies a person with a dream to contribute to the society, to the nation, and at the same time, dream to have one's own company. And you will be learning, I think today's speaker, Kuldeep, will be sharing his success story with all of you. And that is not only the technical knowledge that is necessary, but also the legal and the managerial skills, the rules and the laws that are necessary to have your own company and how to run with that. So that becomes things that you need to learn. And before concluding, I should say that in the current pandemic, that is when, say, maybe at this young age, you might be thinking that is how the different companies will be reviving, because 4 years down the line, when your possibility of going for a job will come, how the industry or how the market will basically behave. But one thing we all of know, that is obviously data analytics will be an area where there will be a lot of people in the area of cyber security. There will be a lot of people, but at the same time, agriculture and technology, this agri-tech kind of business or the market will be there along with the health management or health business kind of thing. Because no matter that is how these industries or the different core industries will behave, this agri-tech or agricultural technology, and along with that the health technology, so they are, and the communication systems, so these are the minimum things that will remain in a very strong footing. And maybe during that the sharing of experience by Kuldeep, all these issues might be coming up. And I now wish that your interest in listening to Kuldeep also, so that will be gaining fruit. But before that, I think Professor Talukdar will be sharing his thoughts. So Kulkarni, next. Please.
Yes. Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I request our President of IIC, Professor Fazal sir, to address the gathering. Unmute yourself, sir, please.
Sir, unmute request I sent to you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Very good evening to everyone. Respected Professor Shivaji Bandyopadhyay, Director NIT Silchar, Mr. Kuldeep Parewa, who is the designated speaker for that means this evening, and he will be that means really sharing with you some of his that means wonderful experiences. And I believe, Mr. Parwa, your motivation will be that means able to propel many of my that means younger kids to go for a path that means which they might have been that means thinking, but not getting that means enough motivation. Dr. Kulkarni, the coordinator of the event, Dr. Naresh Babu, our that means the IT man, that means for whom it is possible for every one of us that means to be connected. He is an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Dr. Wasim Arif, the convener of Institution's Innovation Cell. I am Professor F.A. Talukdar, a professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. And currently, I am also looking after the job of President, Institutions Innovation Council. Under the National Innovation and Startup Policy, the government of India is now giving that means a lot of stress on that means the higher educational institutions to come forward to make that means the innovation and startup a that means a way of life. We are having that means a lot of people, students as well as that means the faculty, who are having that means some idea that means to start a venture, but they really that means do not know that means how to make a beginning. So from institutional that means support as well as a policy framework, the government of India in the Ministry of Human Resource Development earlier and currently which is called the Ministry of Education drafted a policy which is called National Innovation and Startup Policy 2019. And under this particular policy, every higher educational institution in the country is also that means having a startup center. Here at NIT Silchar, that means we have a startup center, and some of our students, even before this policy that means came up, they really that means utilized our facility, become a successful that means entrepreneur, and that means making that means really very good. Before that means I hand over the mic to that means Mr. Kuldeep. I will just that means share the success of that means the 3 or 4 of our students that means who just passed out in the recent past, who had that means a mark in in this particular kind of venture making as well as the entrepreneurship. We had that with the 2 students, one from mechanical 13-17 batch, Pankaj Kushawa and Vaibhav Tayal. While they were in the Detmisa Institute, they opened Detmisa what is called a door hopper. Door hopper is a Detmisa venture which was looking into all the essentials of students that means who are residing in the hostel, be it that means a cup of tea that means at the midnight or that means a similar other kind of things. And after that means leaving the institute, what they did is that means they upscaled that means their venture into which is called the desk hub. And currently the desk hub is committed to creating the premier network for shared entrepreneurial workspaces in exciting markets across the United States. At present, Desk Hub provides exceptional co-working spaces in Scottsdale and San Diego. I do hope that the kids that means who are present that means today in this that means the My Story event can that means dream of doing similar kind of thing that means in future. And the Institute Startup Cell and the Innovation Cell is that means there to handhold and do that means give you that means encouragement and other facilities. Another student that means I am going to that means share his success story. He was also a mechanical that means engineering graduate from 14 to that means 18 batch. His name was that means Aman. And that means that currently that means that he has a that means the startup which is called Biomat. He is the founder and CEO of the same. And third one, that means Roshan Farhan. He was a CS graduate from 2008 to 12. And thereafter, he did his that means the management from IIM, that means the Shillong. And exactly after 7 days, on that means the 11, that means again he will be that means the interacting with you. And he is the founder and chief executive officer of that means the Gobillion, which is a that means a startup established by that means the people from NIT, IIT, and that means the IIM. It is a socio-commercial startup based in New Delhi, focusing on bringing e-commerce to next 400 million customers in India. Gobillion aspires to socialize the grocery buying experience and make it fun, engaging, and trust-based for the Mr. Companies. So they are all your seniors, not very that means the old, almost that means the seniors that means who passed out that means only a couple of years back, and hopefully that means that their success story going to that means motivate you that means that to become a that means the entrepreneur or that means the founder of a that means the startup. Once that means that you will be there in the campus after the pandemic and those kind of restrictions are over. Do that means the meet us so that means that if you are having an idea, we will try to that means to support your idea and you become a that means a wonderful that means entrepreneur or a wonderful that means the founder of a startup. So I welcome you all that means on behalf of your institutions that means the Innovation Council and hope the future is that means very bright for that means every one of you. As our respective director had that means already said, the current trend is not to seek a job, rather that means what we have to do, that means we have to be that means a job creator. So with this one, that means again I welcome that Mr. Kuldeep, and Kuldeep will be that Mr. speaking that means in a territory which is that means not generally that means touched by people that means from an engineering or that means a medical background, but possibly the most important success story or the future will be there that means in the agriculture sector, because this is the sector that means which has not yet been that means able to that means utilize the rampant or that means the commercial use of that means management and that means the technology principle. So I welcome you all, and that means the hope that means I will benefit from the deliberations from Mr. Kuldeep and his erudition and that means the experience will be able to that means motivate you to think of that means the developing kind of venture. Thank you all. Over to Dr. Kulkarni.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your putting nicely the structure of IIC NIT Silchar, and as well as the encouraging words for the freshers and welcoming Mr. Kuldeep. So now I would like to share a few information or a few things about Mr. Kuldeep. As the Mahatma Gandhi said that the India is the country of a countryside, the same way most of us or many of our friends, those are in education, in any education field, may it be engineering or medical, we sail from the village backgrounds. The same way, Kuldeep is also sailing from the village background. It is in the Uttar Pradesh called as Tarfara. So, but however, being from the small place or the village place, with his commitment to the studies, he made his way to IIT Guwahati and successfully graduated, securing a well-paying job at Goldman Sachs, Bangalore. However, he was sympathized with the farmers of his village as he had seen they are quitting the farming and moving to the cities to do the PT jobs. Although they were doing the PT jobs, but they were not moving back to the farming. However, because of this, his affection or the sympathy towards the farmers, he took this as a challenge And with this mission to break the current agricultural trend that is being controlled by middlemen, that we all of us know, many a times we see in the news or we read in the newspaper, and we also witness many times people or the students from the village will be able to definitely relate this. So with this mission, he tried to make the sector more profitable. So he came up with an idea of creating a decentralized processing units in the villages to add the value to the farmers' produce. So after months of intense planning, research, and executing, the Anveshan was born, and presently he is the founder, CEO, and heading the Anveshan division with two of his friends currently. So now I request Kuldeep to share his the experiences of the coining the idea or executing the plan, and what are the legal formalities and whatever are the needs for the student or entrepreneur to set up a startup. So the floor is on you, all yours, Kuldeep. Please.
Sure. First of all, thanks a lot, Kulkarni sir, for such a nice words. And I would really like to thanks respected director sir, Fazal sir, and obviously the entire organizing committee for organizing such a nice event. I really feel that entrepreneurship is something which should be enabled from the college itself. And if we can teach something, or if we can inspire few of our students who are currently in the college, it would be a very nice thing to have. Because as Fazal sir and director sir, both of them said that we should be seeking for creating jobs instead of like just going and joining any job. So thanks a lot, sir, for organizing. And finally, I would also like to thank like all the students who have made out time and coming to listen here. So what I'll do, like I'll try to make this session more interactive. I'll just try to tell my story, that how exactly we came up with the idea, and my learnings, whatever we have learned in this journey. And later to that, maybe you guys can shoot up some questions if you have specific to entrepreneurship or fundraising, as Kulkarni sir mentioned. So I would just like to share my screen.
Yes, it is visible.
Great. So, as Kulkarni had mentioned, I actually come from a farming background. So, there's a small village called Tarfara in Uttar Pradesh, where my entire village and my grandfather, everyone is located. And we are doing farming from multiple decades. But the sad part is like most of them are like moving out of this farming profession and doing very petty jobs. In fact, my own uncle, we had a lot of lands, but he moved out of farming, and he was just a driver in one of the minister's house, which I always used to feel bad. So my dad was one of the first person to move out of village and securing a government job. So I was born and brought up in cities, but all my summer vacations I used to spend in villages. So wherever I used to visit there, obviously like I used to enjoy each and everything in that village. But later on, like when I started seeing the sad part of it, that most of my uncles or most of my like most of the youth of the village have now started moving out of the farming. And when I started looking at the data, I was even more shocked. I was seeing that only 1.2% of the total youth was interested being a farmer. Farming is no more a viable or a respected profession. Also, as per a census which was done in 2011, that every day, like around 2,000 farmers just give up farming. They don't want to be a farmer anymore. And also, as per another survey by government, they analyze that farmers more want to become a construction labor rather than doing farming on in their own land. So all these points were quite pinching for me because I was able to relate all of it, because most of my family members was just leaving out this. And parallelly, when all this realization was happening, I was actually in IT, and I was learning a lot of new kind of technology, AI, ML, and I was implementing them in my projects. For example, how I can detect different kinds of image pattern, or how I can work with data. As director sir mentioned, data is one of the important thing, and I was actually from computer science background. So when I was doing a lot of these computer sided projects, on the other side, I was also seeing these kinds of problems. So this made me curious that why can't we implement these high-tech solutions to these problems due to which like these farmers are moving out. And that's when like I, along with my other two co-founders, Ayushi and Akhil, started researching about this topic. So in fact, like we were so passionate that we hired around 20 interns out of college, and we started researching in each of the field that how we can use image processing to detect a disease in plants, or how we can predict the weather so that we can save the crop damages and all those things. So we were like kind of exploring the entire field, that how we can add value to the farmer's life, or how we can make farming a more lucrative job. So, but after doing a lot of ground survey and ground research, we kind of analyzed that why these farmers are actually moving out of this profession. So the main point which we thought that these farmers are facing is that they're not getting the correct price. So even if we increase the quantity or the yield which these farmers are growing, it's okay. But the one which they are growing, they're not even getting good prices out of it. Second is like they're not able to add value to their produce. So most of them are not literate, not they are not able to market their product. They're not able to take the product directly to consumers. So we thought that these are even like bigger problems than solving a problem. For example, identifying which is the best crop to grow on a specific land using machine learning, or maybe using drones to throw any sort of pesticides or fertilizer on the plant. So we thought that adding value, or making them or enabling them with the better prices will be a more lucrative and a more better problem to solve if we want immediate results for these farmers. So to solve that, like we came up with this idea of Anveshan, where we thought that we'll open these decentralized food processing units in villages where these farmers can actually add value to their produce. So, for example, in my village, that was one of our first unit which we established. My village is actually very famous for growing mustard seeds, and the farmers are not able to basically get good prices out of it. So what we did, like we installed a small oil processing unit in my village. It was like with a very minimal amount. I took a loan when I was in college itself, and we implemented that small unit over there. And due to that unit, we were able to employ actually three farmers, and there were many farmers who were not supposed to basically sell at lower prices because we were giving them a better price. So we installed that unit, and we realized that if we could open more such units, it could actually enable more number of farmers to come and work in these units, and this would actually like create employment in the village level. And on top of it, like the supply chain is actually very bigger nowadays. Like it's being sourced from one place, and then the factory is at some other place where it's being transported. So we thought that this entire supply chain can be shorter, and we can maybe efficient that make that entire process very efficient. So that was like the basic idea of Anveshan, that why we wanted to set up these kinds of decentralized units, and how exactly like we can prepare food in it. So and when we decided that okay, let's create these units. So when my first unit was kind of installed, my uncle was actually facing a lot of issues in selling those products. Why? Because most of the products which is present in the market is highly adulterated, or they are highly processed, or their testing solutions are not very standard, due to which what happens is like the price of the food actually goes down very low. So for example, if the mustard oil which we are actually extracting out of the kolu method, out of the wood press method, that gives only 20% of oil, versus if I go with a refining method, or if I go with another method with applying more pressure or heat, I can extract maybe 50% of oil. But we should ask this question, that is it even an oil? It's just a nutritionless fluid which do not have any nutrients, or which will never benefit us. So a lot of the entire industry, we were kind of analyzing that the entire industry have leveraged on this, and they are providing us cheap and bad quality food. And there's a huge scope of providing these kinds of natural food which is made traditionally in villages in these units, because now we have kind of forgotten that the real way of eating food, or the real the real methods in the process how our dadi and nani used to create. A lot of nowadays, most of the things are very artificial, very processed. It's not even like, we should not even call it a food. Like, are we really eating a food? We should be asking that question. So these kinds of things started coming up in our mind, that okay, we have opened a unit, and also we can see a great value on the consumer side, because most of the food products are of such scenario. So if we could provide this kind of food directly to consumers, it could actually solve problem from both the ends. So and I would just like to present few facts that how bad the food scenario in our country. This was a investigation which was done just a week ago. It's a very recent publication, out of which like they analyzed that around 10 out of 13 brands was having impurities, like it was adulterated. And in these 10, there are like very big names, mostly like almost like 70 to 80% of our Indian consumer would be buying out from that brand. That means that most of us are not having honey. We are just drinking sugar syrups. We should not even call it honey. Similarly, there was another report where it was found that around 79% milk in Maharashtra is adulterated. Like the milk, in fact, like when I was doing my ground surveys, I was very much shocked, and I realized that what these people are doing, like it's not even humanly possible to do this. They were adding urea, they were adding a lot of other chemicals, which would not only harm our body but would make permanent damages, which would like impact for the lifetime. So the entire food and the milk sector was actually even more worse. Also, you might have seen this case few years back that Maggie has a poisonous lead in it. Now, just imagine like lead is very expensive, way expensive than whatever the ingredients in Maggie. Why anyone will add lead into it? So the problem was the soil on which the wheat was grown had a lot of hard metals. It had a lot of pesticides, fertilizers, because of a lot of pesticides and fertilizers, due to which that lead was actually coming into Maggie. So just imagine, like if it's there in the Maggie, then the wheat, the chapatis, the roti which we eat regularly, it will also definitely lead, but we don't have money to get it tested. So the entire food scenario is actually very much messed up. Similarly, in a recent survey which was done across some 17 good countries around the globe, we were found that India has the most unhealthy packaged food in the entire globe around in those 17 countries. That means most of the food which we consume has a lot of trans fat, lot of cholesterol, a lot of bad issues, and that is the reason why a lot of our family members, a lot of our acquaintances are suffering from diabetes, blood pressure, and now it has become quite normal. And that is because of the food habits, because of the bad food habits which we have adapted. So, because of all these reasons, we see that there's a huge value proposition on creating food with this minimally processed manner, where if you could ensure the hygiene and if you could maintain the nutritional value, it would help a lot to these farmers, because we are definitely providing employment, and they are able to grow over there. And on the other side, it's something which will actually add value to our health. It's actually something through which we can actually gain these nutritions. So we thought that there's a huge value proposition if we could add both the problems, and it would solve and make a win-win situation for both, for the customers and also for the farmers who are growing in the farms. But as I said that we were from the tech background. I, along with Ayushi and Akhil, we all three co-founders were from like CAC and MNC background. So we thought that great, we want to open these decentralized units, but when we scale, how will we manage it? Maybe managing 1 unit, 2 unit, or maybe 3 unit can be great. But tomorrow we are aiming to have, like, say, 1,000 units country. How will we manage it? So then we started deploying tech into this. So what exactly we did, I'll just show a quick video. uh, this we have recently created around the traceability, and then maybe I can talk about it. इस पैंडेमिक के आने से we all are stuck at home. सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग तो अब हमारे लाइफस्टाइल का एक पार्ट बन गया है. We scan carefully through everything that comes inside our house. इससे exterior safety तो हम ensure कर पाते हैं, but how do we even check that a product is equally safe from within? Do not worry. In the history of food products, Anveshan ushers in an era of surety and purity. Check it for yourself by just a simple scan. Anveshan brings to you food tech of next generation. Anveshan's traceability solution, जिससे अब आप अपने प्रोडक्ट की हर छोटी डिटेल को खुद देख सकते हैं. From the way it was packaged to the manner it was tested, from the method it was processed to the condition under which it was kept, from the place it was grown to the farmer who actually grew it, from farm to fork. All the details of your product is just a scan away. Anveshan, assuring your safety always. So that was a traceability solution where we thought of where we basically identified quality control data points across supply chain, and we started putting them on our traceability app. So now when a customer receives any of the Anveshan product, they can just scan and they can get to know information at each and every level. We also have a lot of tests in place in this entire chain, where these customers can know, okay, that the seeds which were used of the best quality, they were organic, they were non-GMO. Similarly, the oil which was prepared out of the minimally processed method was done in the best manner, in the most minimal manner. So through this data, we thought that we can maybe build the layer of the trust even more. Because today, if you just enter into any grocery store, all the brands which is sitting over there will claim themselves as natural, organic, healthy. But what is the way that you can actually know that it's actually healthy, it's actually true, whatever is written on the label? So we thought that maybe with this traceability solution, we can make the process more transparent. We can win the trust. We can solve the trust issue in our country in a more better manner. So this was basically our traceability solution, and we launched all our products with this QR code thing, and it's actually performing very well. Customers are appreciating it very well. They are, whoever are the educated and the knowledgeable customer, they are actually able to verify or to know that, okay, all the products are coming from a specific village where we have created a lot of impact. So this was a traceability solution exactly, and we launched, just to tell something about our growth. So we launched everything somewhere in the early of this year, and we have been able to sell these products very well online. In fact, we have around 20,000 unique customers, which we have catered in last 8 months. And just to show like some graph, this is our total number of revenue which we have basically gained over months and months. So the entire idea of Anveshan was actually very well appreciated by the customers, where we were preparing these minimally processed food in villages in a very small batches using some traditional methods, which has like the unique taste and unique aroma. So this was like the entire idea and my journey and my learnings which I had in this path. I'm happy to take any questions. For example, as Kulkarni sir mentioned that I wanted to speak on the funding or any other aspect of entrepreneurship, I'm happy to take any questions and answer any specific of it. Uh, Okay, so I think the first question is by Navratna Agarwal. How do we manage funding for our ideas? So yeah, I would like to answer this question. So what I have realized in my journey is that you just have to create the right product, and funding and all these things are secondary. VCs, investors, all of them will come because everyone want to support this ecosystem. Everyone want to create that impact. So when we were actually like launching Anveshan, we were not able to basically attract a lot of investors, but we were very much affirmed that what we are building, what we have decided, whatever is a vision, we were very clear about it, and we were just building it very well. And then what happened that after when we received some traction, like within 2 months, we had like multiple VCs like talking to us, wanted to like were very interested in investing in our startup. So I would just like to say that just work very clearly on the idea. Just be very clear in your vision and what exactly you want to implement and what problem you want to solve. I can bet that funding will never be an issue in your entire path. I think the second question is from Arunesh Prasad.
Get to know more about your, that is promoters, stakeholding and how much you raised through VCs or banks.
Sure. So we have actually done one pre-seed round, which was led by Titan Capital. So Kunal Behal and Rohit Bansal, ex-founders of Snapdeal, manages that fund. So we raised a small amount of 1.2 CR from them, and recently we have closed another round of small bridge round from India's one of the leading consumer brand VC, DSG Partners. So both of them are investors, and apart from it, we have a lot of angel investors. For example, a founder from Boat, founder from Beardo, ex-CTO of Jabong. So all these people are like angel investors in our startup.
Yeah, thank you. Next is how you overcome the farmers' trust issue. But what are the trust issues that is there, locally specific? So we will not choose this question. So how did you plan everything from scratch, like from studying the techniques from books and labs to apply them in real world? Will
Sure.
you well, will you comment on that?
Yeah, sure. I would love to answer. So, first of all, what I have realized in my journey is that you really don't need to make a plan, or you really don't have to like do hundred lot of things before even starting. Like even with a small hunch, you can start with a very small experiment. For example, I would just like to quote a small story from one of the very prestigious founder in our country, Kunal Shah. So once he said that when he was basically working on his idea of free charge, basically recharging your mobile phones through internet, he didn't make the entire app. He didn't collaborated with the payment networks and all. What he did, like he just created a small diagram on a on his notebook, and he took to 10 of his friends, and he just said that tomorrow if you just need to fill the amount and click on the pay now button, will you love to like use this, or you would love to go back on the normal stores and get it done? So that is how you get validation. That is how basically you get it done. So you don't have to actually plan a lot. You just have to work on the hunch and get the initial traction ASAP. Like just get in action, get some data, get some real issues, and you will be able to receive a lot of answers in that journey. So so specific to Anveshan also, like we didn't plan a lot. Like when I was college, I was telling you like we put that unit in a very abrupt manner. We were not even knowing that we want to create a D2C brand. We just installed because we wanted to create employment and we wanted to create impact in that village. And later on, we thought that okay, D2C brand is the best. Later on, we realized that no, mustard oil was not the best product. Ghee was the even better product which we could launch. So once if you just start the journey, you will realize all these nuances. You will realize all the answers for your issues like within that journey itself. So just start without thinking a lot.
Yeah, students, you can unmute and you can ask actually.
Yeah, you may take it.
Students, you can unmute and you can ask the question directly. Any questions?
Okay, fine.
For selling the products, so whether we require some kind of the food safety norms like that to be acquired first, and then we can sell it into the market. What are the
No, no.
norms that we should
Ashish, first you tell your name and section.
My name is Dr.
Okay.
Ashish Jogane. I am faculty in mechanical
Okay.
engineering.
Okay. I don't. Sorry.
Okay, sure. I would love to answer Ashish sir's question.
And
So, sir,
unmute yourself, Kuldeep.
I guess sir, I'm not on mute. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. So, to your question, Ashish sir, like for selling any product in our country, we require FSSAI license number. So, again, there is a food department in our country where if you apply, you will get a FSSAI license. There are specific norms with respect to the different products which you want to sell. So, but you need to have that FSSAI number. On top of it, you need to have a GST certificate if you want to sell some place. And on top of it, like if you're selling it as an organic product, or if you're selling it with a specific sort of specification, then you need some specific certificates. But just as a basic, if you want to just start out a small business and you want to sell, you just need to have a FSSAI license and a GST number to start a food business of your own.
Okay, hello.
Yeah.
Hello, myself Ayush Gupta, and I am from electrical engineering department. Means you first did the kind of a job, and how you that like came to different field. Like you thought like this should be the time I should be out from the field of some doing a job, or like how you got the courage there. Like means like it is very risky sometimes. Like it may be fail, it may be like go on. So.
Yeah. So honestly, it was very difficult. To be honest, it was very, very difficult. because as I was telling, like my dad was one of the first person to move out from the village, and I was actually first IITian from the entire village who went into some IIT. And when I told that I was placed in Goldman Sachs, having like a 30-40 lakhs package, everyone was like, it was like a great moment for all of them. No one had ever listened all of them in past. So obviously it was very difficult. And on top of it, like when I told them that I want to sell mustard oil and ghee, so they were even like they were saying that after securing this much big job, you want to sell oil and ghee. So it was very difficult for me to convince my parents. But I was very clear from day one, like when I was even in college also, that I wanted to create some impact in these farmers' life. Because when I used to visit my village in my childhood, I don't know from where it inculcated, but I was very, very clear that I wanted to create some impact. I don't want to live for just by like living a normal corporate job, doing 9 to 5 and living for yourself. Rather than I really wanted to create some impact and make some changes in the lives of these farmers specifically. So I think it has been someone's inner motivation and my inner motivation. And sometimes you just have to take a hunch and to have to take a decision. And I took that and I left out my cushy job and just started. And now it's going pretty well only.
Okay, I am Arunesh Prasad. I think I asked the second question about VCs and banks. My question is, do you think rather than raising the funds from venture capitals and banks, do you think bootstrapping it from the base, like taking money from parents, uh, uh, would say catapult your organization to this level? Would it have been possible?
Yeah, definitely. So, in fact, my first investor was my dad. So, when I was, as I was saying that when I was in my fourth year only, I just went to my Babuji and I told him that I want to open this unit, and he was quite shocked. Like it was around 30-minute presentation which I gave it to him, and he was like, "Okay, cool, just take it, but make sure." He just asked me that, "Sach mein karna chahte ho?" And I said yes. So then I took some money from him. So it's always good to bootstrap. I mean, it's not necessary to take money from VCs or banks. It's never important. But but there is a certain point comes in your journey where you actually require more money to scale. And also not more than money, you require some of expertise. So, for example, the recent investor are BSB partners or Titan Capital. So these are the people, or even the angel investors. These are the people who have already built multiple startups similar to this, or they have been a part of a lot of journey. So you're able to actually save a lot of problems, or you're able to
Not more than
actually
money, you require some of
build
the expertise. So, for example, the recent investor are BSB partners or Titan Capital. So these are the people, or even the angel investors. These are the people who have already built multiple startups.
So yeah, I think I answered your question. So it's not necessary that you always need VC money. You can do it from the bootstrap also. But sometimes if money becomes a problem for you to grow, then you can seek out for raising funds from external source.
Okay, Bhaiya, thank you so
Any
much.
other questions? Any other questions from audience?
Hello, good evening to everyone.
Omkar?
Yes, good evening to everyone, sir.
Yes.
I wanted to ask did you have any backup plan if your startup did not work or if you thought it would fail, then what else backup plans did you have?
But to be honest,
Yes, sir.
uh, can you hear me?
Just Priya, wait. Priya, wait.
Okay. So I was saying that to be honest, I don't have a backup plan. I really thought that I'll fail. So I mean, like a lot of good entrepreneurs have this thing that when you start up something, you either learn something, you never fail. Either you succeed or you learn something. So I am just going with that philosophy. And to be honest, I don't feel that, for example, my friends who are still into corporate jobs and doing, I feel that I have learned a lot of things. Like the startup has like given me opportunities to help a lot of things compared to them. So even if I fail today, or even if I fail let's say 1 year down the line, I'll not have it. I'll never have regrets because in this journey I have learned hundred more than like thousand number of things, I would say. Like every day is a new day with new challenges, with new sort of opportunities to learn new things. So I don't think that if I ever I have to look back, and is there actually become so good that you can anyways like seek out a small job, like seek out job very easily. Like job will never become a problem for you.
Hello.
Yes, yes.
Bhaiya, you told me that it took a lot of courage, but I want to know that whom you inspire the most. Like, you might have read someone, or you might have watched someone. I mean, like, who really is important?
Sure. There is no one specific thing, to be honest. I am a fan of a lot of great founders, lot of great people who have done amazing things. But yeah, to name a few people like Dr. Varghese Kurin, the founder of Amul, who entirely set up the Amul and who basically bring the milk revolution in our country. He's one of my ideal. Like I have read his book like multiple times. That is amazing. The kind of challenges, the kind of issues he has solved is amazing. Then Kishore Bayani, basically the founder of the Future Group. So the way how he installed Big Bazaar in our entire country and how he has actually changed the way how India used to shop. Again, these are some people who are whom I really look up to. And then obviously there are a lot of tech founders, there are a lot of impact-driven founders. So there are no like if I just start calling out names, it will be like a I have to understand. So
Hey, leave meeting.
Hello, myself Ayushman. I wanted to know that what were the initial promotional strategies that you used in your when you started out? What were the initial promotional strategies that you did to market your product?
okay, you're saying that how we started selling the product.
Yeah, marketed your
Marketing
product.
strategy.
Yes.
Okay, so we actually started our products by
Hello,
selling it
myself Ayushman.
on Amazon.
I wanted to know that what were the initial promotional strategies that you
I
used
think
in
yeah,
your
can you
when
go on
you
mute?
started out? What were the
Yeah,
initial
yeah.
promotional
Just wait.
strategies that you did to market your product?
Someone is using the parallel, they are watching the YouTube actually.
Okay, great. So yeah. First of all, I would like to address one thing that we are in a very, very good situation right now. I think this is the best time to do a startup because the online penetration is amazing. The way of ease of doing business is at max. You can do everything just by sitting at home. Like just to give a small example, like we have built this entire company in the pandemic. We were not actually out, but still we were able to do it, and we were able to scale it some 50 times the time we started. The timing is great. So we started out from online platforms, specifically Amazon and Flipkart, and obviously our own website. And we started using multiple promotions running on them. So, for example, Amazon has its own marketing platform to do the same. Then we use Google Analytics. We use a lot of SEO strategies to do it.
This,
And on top of
yeah,
Please go on. Correct.
yeah, apart from it, we also run like a lot of ads on Facebook and Instagram. So all these things were actually new for us also. But we started since we were from a tech background, we started like experimenting with small amounts on different platforms, and within some time we were able to make sense with a lot of these platforms and able to like scale it very well.
Okay, so I think Naresh sir, we have reached our time level, so we may take another question at most if anybody has.
Yeah, any questions?
Naresh, I think Priya was trying to ask a question.
Priya Pal, yes sir.
Yes,
Priya
so
Pal,
you give a call to if Priya is still there in the background. Yeah, Priya,
Yes.
so your question.
Yeah, Priya Pal, please.
May I take a question if you permit, sir?
Director sir.
okay, any other questions? From any
Yes,
other participants?
I am Arunesh Prasad again. I would like to ask the third question. My last question is, Bhaiya, who was the first person you reached out to when it came to implementing in the initial moments? Like, I do not have anyone to like help me doing this all. I am the one alone. If I have an idea tomorrow, I am the one who is alone. So how did you reach the branches, I would say, who connected you to entrepreneurship?
Sure. So again, like you must obviously like Cell, as you have this entrepreneur cell and the entire organization like, which is currently running this program. So like start joining these groups, and even like LinkedIn has become a great platform today. So there are a lot of entrepreneurial groups where you can actually join, and you can find like-minded people. So these are few places, and apart from it, like what I have seen from my personal experience and also my founders, usually good friends end up like doing businesses or startup together because they want to do things together. I mean, together as in, like they really like they know what the other person wants and how we can actually like run a business. So obviously, like you can reach out to friends, discuss the idea with them, and maybe one of them might turn up and say that, hey, I want to do this thing with you. And obviously, like apart from these groups, like your friends and maybe even your family members also. Like for example, the first unit which I implemented was in my village. My uncle was my first micro entrepreneur. Like now we have 9 units in total across country. But the first unit, which is still like the biggest unit, is the mustard unit, which was installed by my uncle. So your friends and family are you the first
म्यूट कर
people?
दिया, बोलो सर.
And then definitely you have these entrepreneurial cells and groups where you can find out like-minded people.
Thank you very much, Bhaiya. It was really inspiring.
Sure, thanks a lot.
Bhaiya, how to contact him?
I question, sir. So when you launched your first product, so how did you contact the customers?
So again, like as I said, that friends and family is your first set of customers. So you don't have to like reach out or run a lot of ads. Just go in your neighborhood, just all your relatives, just show the product. If they are the right target audience, because right target audience is also very important. Uh, and just reach out, like friends and family. You will have at least 50 customers in just your own close network. And after that, you will get the sense that who is your customer, and you can start making profiling them. You can start making personas and like attack similar set of customers in the domain.
Okay, thank you, Bhaiya.
Hello. Bhaiya, I want to
Yes.
know that how to contact you further if I want to.
Sure. So
Definitely, we have his email address. We will share with you all. So definitely, I think, or Kuldeep, you may suggest any other alternative way you may
Bhaiya, I have
sure,
a
proceed.
sir.
question.
Please share my email ID. I definitely I reply to all my mails.
Yeah.
But on top of it,
Dr.
like LinkedIn is actually a very
I have
active
a
tool.
question.
Dr. Kulkarni, Dr.
Sir,
Kulkarni, I believe we will be, that means inviting Mr. Kuldeep once in our campus in a physical mode when all our kids are back to the campus. Then they
yes,
can
sir.
have a, that means a wonderful interaction, that means with him.
Yes.
Today is only a beginning. Those, that means who are having a mind, that means to do, that means something in life on their, that means the own. They should take inspiration from, that means the Kuldeep, because the Kuldeep is, that means a very, that means a junior to me. Okay, so they should take what is your motivation, that means from him, and he, that means always available, that means for interaction. We will surely, that means invite him, that means in our campus, where that means he can have a face-to-face interaction with, that means budding your entrepreneurs and startup builders. We do not expect all the 876 students to be, that means entrepreneur, not that means that there will be, that means some kind of startup builder. Only a handful of students will be there, and hopefully that means we will be able to, that means create a platform where, that means the Kuldeep and success story of, that means many other, that means engineer turned, that means entrepreneurs we can that means share with you all, and you will that means get the benefit. So you can just write down the email ID of that means Mr. Kuldeep, and what he that means already assured that is very particular about that means answering the queries from that means everyone. This is I also do that. Whosoever that means writes me or calls me, at least that means I try to that means I give them an answer, or at least if not get anything great I can do, I can tell them okay, all the best. That means I wish you that means to be in a better position. Okay, Kulkarni, anything more from our side? Any more question? Any more question? So
Where,
Yeah, I have a
where,
question.
yeah,
I have a question.
where,
yeah, carry on.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I have a question that how, sir, how do you actually connect with your? Do you connect with customers directly, or do you have an intermediate?
No, no. So we are very particular about our customer. We are a very customer-centric company, and we are very much customer-obsessed. So, for example, we as founders have called our initial 2,000 customers and personally understood that what was their issues with the problem, or if we could improve their experience in any of the manner. So, for us, like customer experience is one of the highest priority, and we like I have a sufficient big customer experience team which directly communicates with the customer. So yes, we communicate with them directly. And if any customers have any issue with respect to product, processing, anything, we immediately take that honor to solve it and provide a solution to the customer ASAP.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I have a question. Hello.
Yeah, please.
Please go on.
How do you convince the customer about the quality of the product? How they will trust us about this?
A little bit louder.
How do you convince the customer about our product, the quality of the product? How they will trust us?
Sure. So there's no right answer to this, to be honest. We are still struggling to find a correct solution for this problem because we are actually manufacturing all these products in a minimal manner in villages. But still, there are few set of customers who don't believe us. But I would say that just believe in your product and make sure that it is a world-class product. For example, the A2 Vedic it's one of the best A2G in entire country. On Amazon, we are the category leaders. So just make sure that whatever you are manufacturing, whatever is there in your hand, so the product manufacturing is definitely in your hand with respect to anything, not even like a food tech product, even like a tech product, even like a app like Facebook or a platform like Google. If your product is best, definitely it will speak out for themselves. Like you don't have to do a lot of marketing, you don't have to do a lot of publicity around it. So just focus on building the correct product.
I have a question. I'm from doctor background. How can I trust your product like Anveshan is best for the people out there? What is the difference between your product and from the other product which is available in the market already?
Sure. So to answer that question, I would say like you can visit our website, and each and every product have like specific benefits and specific use cases. So and there are a lot of descriptive videos where you could know that why this product is much way better than the product which you're consuming in your household. And on top of it, we have also described that why the minimal processing method is important, and due to this, like what all benefits we can reach out from the food.
Okay,
Whether
sir. Thank you.
publicity decides our quality. Hello?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Whether publicity means will decide the quality of product or something else, according to you? I've not understood this.
Can you be a little louder?
Whether publicity, whether
Nirmalendo,
publicity will
a little bit loud,
yeah.
please.
Hello?
A
Yeah.
little bit loud.
Whether publicity will make the sense that it is a good quality product or not.
Uh, I don't know if I understood your question, but like,
Kuldeep. Yeah,
yes, sir.
I'm just giving the answer. You can fool some people for some time, but you cannot fool all people for that means all the time. So if you are trying to that means sell a substandard product, you can sell it to that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 customers. But at the end of the day, that means after 2 or that means 3 years, the people will come to know this product is bad and you will be that means out of the market. Every town and every city, there are some shops where the good quality namkeens are that means available. What you will do? You maybe that means traveling to that particular namkeen shop. You will be buying 50 rupees or your commuting cost will be 100 rupees. But since you care for that means the quality or you care for a particular that means the taste, what you will do that means that you do not mind that means the spending 100 rupees to buy that means the something for that means the 50 rupees. And every manufacturer, what they does is that, especially the food manufacturers, there are several certification plus that means that there are several kind of that means the testing that means which are usually done. And only then that means that you can sell a that means the food product in a packaged or a similar fashion only in the that means the market. And if you are trying to that means the hoodwink your that means the customer, you can hoodwink it only for one batch or two batch. But finally, the customer is the king. They can that means the remove you from the market the way that means that you entered in the material, but nobody will know that means the when that means that you leave the market until unless you maintain the quality. Kuldeep, am I correct or
Yes.
not?
Absolutely correct, sir.
Yeah.
Absolutely correct. The customer is definitely the king, and they will get to know if you are fooling them. So, as I said in the previous answer, that one should very much focus on the product. If they are building the right product, customer will come to it automatically.
So I just wish to share with you that there is a restaurant in Silchar which is called Gomoti. If someone that means ask me visiting Silchar and asking me that means where can I have a that means a decent that means a food, then I am going to that means make the recommendation that go to that means a Gomoti in the Buldigi mall. Fine. So what really happens is that over a period of time they have built up that means an image, and possibly that image is based on that means the quality and that means the service. You all will be in Silchar someday after 6 months or that means 7 months, and then you will all that means visit. And so I am indirectly that means doing an advertising or marketing that means for this particular that means restaurant Gomoti. Even in no way that means I am that means related. So those that means who are likely to be an entrepreneur, please never do not make that means any compromise with that means the quality of your product. You can fool people for some time, but you cannot fool people for that means all the time, and you will be that means out of the market. Yes, temporarily you can make some money, but you cannot that means survive and sustain in the system.
Correct, correct. I would just like to add one small thing that trust is a very there's a very thin line. Like if one time that trust is broken, you can never get that customer back. So we always have to make sure that our product is the best and none of the nuances is being done with it.
Yes. So, Fazal sir, Director sir, I request now, I hope their session was very much attractive.
Yeah, sure.
And yes, and
So
now we limit
I
of
just
time.
okay.
Yes, yes, sir,
Kulkarni.
please. Please,
Uh,
please, sir.
yeah, while that means I was trying, I was making a recommendation to director that means to include that means my story as part of the induction program. I myself was quite skeptical because they are only just in the that means the class engineering career. So whether that means that they are having really any interest or any inclination to listen to that means someone that means who is supposed to be a startup founder or a that means the entrepreneur. After attending the event, that means
Yes.
I am proved wrong for the reason that many of the students are having that means so many pointed and that means specific questions regarding that means how to become that means an entrepreneur, how to start up with it. If you are having the passion, you can do that means anything. And one of the question was regarding how do you get the that means the finance. Kuldeep will be that means, must have that means explain. There are two types of people out in this particular ecosystem. One is called the venture capitalist. They are basically filthy rich men trying to that means make out a large amount of that means the money from your that means the effort. And second one is what is called the angel angel investor. So try to be that means in touch with an angel investor whose terms and conditions will be that means definitely much more comfortable compared to that of a that means a venture capitalist. Okay, in our country also Ratan Tata is a angel investor. Yeah, Ajim Premji is an angel investor. If your idea that means the clicks, they are out to that means the help you. Of course, you have to have a that means the idea that means the which is going to that means the work. So in this beginning period, that means since you are exposed to that means a wonderful kind of thing, and you also showed a great that means the response. Okay. I hope that means some of this 2024 batch will be that means a very good entrepreneurs, as well as that means a very good that means the startup that means the builder. On behalf of the institute, I again that means thank Kuldeep for joining us, sharing his thought process, and that means igniting the mind of several of my kids. That means to be that means the future entrepreneurs, as well as that means the startup builders. And as I that means already said, is surely that means I will invite you physically in our campus, where that means you can have a physical interaction with every one of them, and then they get to know you. They get to that means discuss that means something that means which they cannot that means really discuss in a that means a public platform. There are several questions a person that means cannot that means ask in a public that means platform. So hopefully that means we look forward for a continued cooperation with our that means kids in future. So again, that means thank you all, and thank you kids that means for joining the program, and that means showing your interest to be an entrepreneur. So join us again on that means the next Friday 11th at 4 o'clock, and that guy will be Roshan Farhan, will be one of your seniors. He was a student from 2008 to 2012 in computer science and engineering, and thereafter that means immediately he joined IIM Shillong for that means the postgraduate diploma in management. Because the MBA nomenclature came into that means the IIM system only from 2019. Prior to that, that means all degrees are in terms of postgraduate diploma in management. Okay, thank you all, and happy that means wonderful that means weekend, and you must be having the kids must be having another that means the interaction as part of their that means the induction program. So they need some time that means to freshen up to join the next program at possibly at 6 o'clock. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, and thank you, Kuldeep.
Thank you, Kuldeep. All the best.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you.
And Dr. Kulkarni, you please
Sir.
you please complete the backend formality with Mr. Kuldeep. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. I will.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. I suppose now with the director's permission we can close the meeting. I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Kuldeep. Thank you, students.
Thank you, students.